Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Amplifying Nevada Native Youth. So welcome to our this week's episode, which we are featuring Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute. Sorry about that. Some people call it SIPI, or most people do call it SIPI. So Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And it's a small little college I'm not sure if it's a community college, but basically it's for Native students. It's an amazing college what I've seen so far. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm choking. But so this week we have two amazing guests with us, and I'll introduce them in a little bit. But next week we're going to be having Tanner Kavanaugh, and he's a PA, just graduated from PA school, so we're really excited for that. And then if you haven't watched our past videos yet, feel free to check on our YouTube page to watch those videos. And so to introduce everybody for today, so my name is Avery Wyatt. I'm a student at the University of Nevada, Reno. And then we have Regina Romero. She's an education program professional for Indian education and the Nevada Department for Education. So Regina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, wherever you may be in this United States. We're excited again to have another college student with us, and we also have a professional from SIPI who will be providing some materials for us regarding the school. He's also a student graduate from SIPI as well, so I'm excited to hear about his journey. SIPI is part of one of the tribal colleges and universities and a part of the American Higher Education Consortium. And it always warms my heart to welcome a sister school of Haskell Indian Nations University. So back to you, Avery.
Cool, thank you, Dina. And so to introduce myself a little bit, I'm a student at the University of Nevada, Reno. I've been working with Annie for about a month now, and we've done amazing videos. And I'm really excited for this, our next guest that we're gonna have for today. And so to introduce our guests for today, we have Alyssa Songoi. So Alyssa is Northern Paiute, Western Shoshone, and Hopi. And she's an enrolled member of the Fallon Paiute Shoshone tribe, sorry. Then we have Donavon Barney, and he's a member of the Navajo tribe. So Alyssa, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Halma, Inimadui, Inimanani, and Alyssa. Janazo'o, Ina, Kwasha, Wesley, Ibia, Elizabeth Works. Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa Songoi. I am 21 years old. My tribes are Shoshone, Hopi, and Paiute. And I'm an enrolled member of the Fallon Paiute Shoshone tribe. I was born here and raised here in Fallon, Nevada. That's where I am currently. I am attending SIPI. I'm a senior, and I'm so excited because I'm graduating this spring. So I'm so excited. I'm majoring in early childhood development, and it just through this whole experience, I've had a lot of people supporting me. So I would just like to say thank you to everyone who supported me and has been there. And I really thankful for this opportunity to speak about my culture experiences at SIPI in order to promote this amazing school. I love it so much. I love the diverse cultures that are there at SIPI. But just a little more about me. I'm a powwow dancer. I've been dancing at powwow since I could walk. And I've also held 9 princess titles. And my first princess title was at age 3. And I've actively participated at powwows, parades, and I'm also featured in 2 museums, including the Nevada State Museum. And I've also sang at 2 UNR men's basketball games during halftime. So I'm very happy and pleased to share just my experiences with the Native youth. The youth it's just so important to me to helping them to achieve their educational goals. And so I also love to bead. I love to hike. I love to run. I love to eat picadillies, Indian tacos. Um, and I just love pinot picking. I know it's pinot picking season, and I'm so excited. And and just being home with my family, during this pandemic, of course, and it's just a really good like learning opportunities. I get to learn at home, and I'm continuing, my online schooling. So yeah, I'm just so excited to be here, and that's just a little bit about me. But thank you so much, Pija.
Thank you, Alyssa. Wow, that's very impressive, and we look forward to hearing a little bit more about you. Right now, I'd like to turn it to Donavon Barney.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's really great to have everyone together tonight on this virtual world. My name is Donavon Barney. I'm going to first introduce myself in Navajo. Yate she Donavon Barney in Shia, Torachi in Shle, Nanish Eje Pashichin, Kiani Deshiche, Ashihin Deshnele, Akutego Tenenishle. My name is Donavon Barney. I am Navajo. I was born and raised in the Navajo Nation in a small community called Narrow Creek, New Mexico. I was born in Fort Defiance, Arizona, but basically Arizona and New Mexico are right on the border. So I grew up in Arizona and New Mexico simultaneously, if you can imagine that. I grew up on a working ranch. My dad was a cowboy and a coal miner. My mother was a worker for the tribe, for the housing services. So I'm a home and grown reservation boy that left the reservation to get some education. Also left the reservation to serve in the military in the United States Marine Corps. And my intention in the entire time was to come back and serve my Native American people. So that's how I ended up working at Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute. I'm an IT specialist there. I'm a graduate of University of New Mexico. That's where I got my bachelor's degree, and then on to Grand Canyon University, where I got my master's degree in cybersecurity. And I actually worked for the University of New Mexico before I transferred over to Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute. And the acronym for that is SIPI, S-I-P-I. I love where I work. It's a labor of love. The students that come are inspirational to me. I love hearing their stories and learning about their walks of life and getting to know them on a very personal level, so I can be a part of that success journey that they're taking. And my job is just to be there and support them and help them and give them as many resources as I possibly can. As an IT specialist, I pride myself with bringing the premier technology to SIPI. Because I worked at the University of New Mexico prior, I was actually one of the media techs at the University of New Mexico. So a lot of the experiences that I got at UNM, I was able to bring to SIPI. And I had so many dreams, so many inspirational goals that I had for myself moving to SIPI. And I'm glad to say that we were able to accomplish a lot of those. So I've been at SIPI for the last 7 years. It's a joy to work there. And also, again, it's a joy to be here tonight. And thank you for having us.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Donovan, so much for being here tonight with us tonight. And thank you, Alyssa, for taking the time out of your day to be with us. And we're thankful for all these presentations that we have with students, especially like Alyssa. And last week, we actually had another faculty on like Donovan too. And it's great just to have both perspectives, especially when we have these discussions, because we feature that student perspective, and we also featured like the side from the faculty who really get to interact with all these students. So thank you so much, Donovan. And so now we'd like to move into a short presentation brought to you by Donovan to learn more about SIPI and the campus in general. So Donovan, take it away.
All right, thank you again, Avery. We're going to go ahead and be sharing the screen of the SIPI website. I'm going to let the website cycle through because I want to highlight Alyssa Songoi. She's our guest presenter, our student presenter tonight for SIPI, but she's also one of our star students at SIPI. She's really heavily involved in a lot of the clubs on campus. And there she is. There's Alyssa. All right, Alyssa. And she's also from Nevada, and she's your ambassador, holding it down in the southwest of New Mexico. I know that she held a crown, a powwow crown, this past year. So she represented the Navajo. I'm sorry, the Nevada area with her crown, and she went all over and powwowed up to Dulce and all the way down to the Las Cruces area. So she's gained a good following here in New Mexico. But going back to the website, just segueing into some of the students that we've highlighted, we've had a lot of success stories that have came from SIPI. But I think one of the biggest things that I would like to get across, and this is the best selling point for SIPI, is the cost of fees. First and foremost, we are a Native American community college. We are a federally funded Native American community college, and we are one of two Native American federally colleges in the nation. So it's us, SIPI, and the other institution is Haskell, located in Kansas. SIPI is part of AHEC, which is the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. So on AHEC, there's, the last I checked, it's about 30 something colleges in the nation that are a part of AHEC, the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. And it's a big tribal college movement to where Native Americans wanted to take ownership of higher education in their own reservations. And for us, for SIPI, we were able to do that on a federal scale. Of course, we have a lot of treaties as Native American tribes, and then there's a lot of trust that had gone through the relationship between us and the federal government. So Haskell and SIPI is a product of holding up that trust, that sovereign trust between us and the federal government. SIPI was established in 1972, and it was actually a vision brought forth by the Pueblos of New Mexico. There's 19 tribes in New Mexico. Out of those 19 tribes, 14 of those tribes, I'm sorry, I don't want to say that wrong, but majority of those tribes are the Pueblo tribes. So the Pueblos Council had a vision of bringing education to New Mexico, and that's how SIPI was established in 1972. So we've been around for almost 50 years. And when that vision was set forth, they were actually a trade school at the beginning historically, and then they got their accreditation, and now we've been accredited for 20 or so years now, and we're actually a junior college, a national junior college. So that's a little bit about the SIPI background, the history. We're located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sorry, I didn't say that before. And it's pretty much in the heart of the Southwest. And some of the big things that happen in Albuquerque, where we're located at, is the Gathering of Nations powwow in April. We have Indian Market that's held in Santa Fe, which is basically 30 minutes away. We have the Balloon Fiesta. And one of the reasons why I wanted to move to New Mexico is I'm able to enjoy all 4 seasons. So we get snow, we get fall, we get spring, and we get summer. So all 4 seasons happen here. And I used to joke and tell people, like, there's no hurricanes here and there's no earthquakes here. So I think I'm a little bit more safe here as I'm in New Mexico. Plus I'm pretty close to my tribal reservation, so that brings me a little bit of peace of comfort as well. To the east of Albuquerque, we have the Sandia Mountains. And then there's also mountains by the north of us, which is the Jemez Mountains. And there's also a mountain line that's to the southeast of us. So there's plenty of things to do. Some people may see SIPI as an area that's located in the desert, but just 20 minutes, 30 minutes outside of the vicinity of Albuquerque, the metropolitan area, there's a lot of hiking trails. There's places to ski. And there's places to go running. There's a big Indian Native American movement here in Albuquerque. There's an organization called Running Medicine. A lot of the Native Americans in the area participate in Running Medicine. On our campus, we have the child care services, which is a cooperation between Youth Department Incorporated and SIPI. So we have a lot of young parents that have their kids on our campus with our early childhood center. In Albuquerque, there's also a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to one of the other Native American schools in our area, which is NACA, the Native American Community Academy. So if you're an older student and you're thinking about, you know, you want to go to a metropolitan area, but you're afraid that you don't want to let your children lose their Native American identity, Albuquerque is still very rich in supporting that Native American identity. So there's a grade school K through 12, which is NACA in Albuquerque. And then if for pre-K and in early childhood, there's YDI, which is all Native American staff that's actually hosted on the SIPI campus. So if you're worried about not feeling like being in a place that's not Indigenous or Indigenous oriented, you don't have to worry about that, because Albuquerque is very blended in that way. Plus, we are on Pueblo lands historically. So we do honor that. Going back to, I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here and there, but one of the big selling points that I always wanted to tell people about SIPI is the tuition. You are not going to get a better deal than this. Let me correct myself. It's not tuition, it's actually fees, because we can't charge tuition as a federal college. So basically for $590, you can get everything paid for. That your student activity fee, your library fee, your academic enhancement fee, your lodging, that's your residency, your food service, so your food for the entire duration of your trimester, all your textbooks, your identification fee, and your IT fee, which is coming from my department. So $590. I don't know where else you can find a better deal than that. Because I've gone to higher education for a long time. You know, I was one of those students that wasn't given the right resources, and I wasn't given the right training, and I ended up pulling out student loans, and you know, I took longer than expected than the traditional student, and I just kind of found myself in debt. And even as an adult, after I finished my education, I was still paying off my student loans, and that's not a good thing for anyone to experience, because it's going to hold you back from having a good credit. It's going to hold you back from owning a home. If you have a family, you know, you have to feed your family, put a roof over their head, and then you're going to be worrying about debt, and you don't want to worry about debt, especially moving into like an adult relationship. You don't want to have that heavy burden of debt being a part of that. And with SIPI, you don't have to worry about that. You don't even have to pull out loans or you know, have any of that stress, because it's only a minimal fee of $590. And we have a lot of resources that help. There's scholarships that are always funneling to Native Americans, and we're a part of that that pathway. We get funded by the tribal. I'm sorry. Gosh, I'm so sorry. But they're from Denver, and they give us a full circle scholarship for our students. So some of our students get their tuitions fully paid. And if you're a brand new student that just graduated from high school and you have a GPA that's above 3.0, you can actually attend SIPI for no fee. You come to SIPI as long as you keep up that 3.0 GPA. SIPI will honor that and continue to help support you in that way with no tuition. So that's a really good incentive. If you're a commuter, like if you don't want to live on the campus, you can be a commuter student, and that is going to be a whopping fee of $365. So it's still only $365. And we have the commuter part-time is $290. So that's one of the big selling points that SIPI has. As soon as I started working at SIPI, I told as many people as possible to come. So what had happened is I started working at SIPI. So I had my younger sister, Crystal, enroll at SIPI, and she finished and graduated. I had her husband come and enroll at SIPI. He finished, he graduated. I had my little brother, Brandon, come to SIPI, and he graduated from there. And I had my niece, Sean Lynn, come to SIPI, and they graduated. So with that said, you know, that's a big testimony from my perspective that that it is a big deal on being debt free, and that's what SIPI can offer you. So I'm just gonna give you a few highlights from the SIPI website. If you visit our SIPI website, it's www.sipi.edu. And we revamped this website about 3 years ago. So we're always trying to stay ahead of the game, and we're always trying to stay branded as an institution and also culturally relevant. So you can see that that kind of that theme is consistent throughout our college, and we're cognizant of that. So underneath admission services, you have pay my fees. We saw some of that area and cost. So I encourage you just to look at our college website and find out a lot of the resources that we have. We have the scholarships tab that you can check out. We have some videos online that you can also check out. And also, if you're a family that has children, you can check out also the childcare, the SIPI YDI, and that will also give you an area to apply for childcare even before you get here. One thing that I have to point out is we don't have family housing. So that we do apologize for that, and we do know that that's a need, but at this time we do not host family housing. Underneath the academics tab, if you wanted to find out about programs, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the programs tab. We have these programs on our campus. So we have on the left where the turquoise is, we have programs. We have accounting, adult and development education. So we also have grants. So if you have not gotten your college degree, or you know someone that hasn't, if you know someone that hasn't graduated from high school but wants to earn their high set, it used to be called the GED, but now it's called the high set. There's grants that will host them on our campus, and they can be a part of the residential housing area, and also they can get their free meals and earn their GE or their high set at the same time. So look into that if you want to help someone get their credentials for high school. We also have business administration, computer aided drafting, and design CAD. So CAD is a really good program to go into if you want to make good money and stay consistently employed. Because it's in a STEM field, there's a lot of need for tribes that need professional workers in the CAD industry. We have culinary arts. Our culinary arts program is led by Chef Bailey, and Chef Bailey won 2 national awards. He actually was Chef of the Year nationally, and he's hosting that culinary arts program. Our early childhood education program, Alyssa can talk about this here in a bit, but that's led by Dr. Danielle Lansing. Dr. Lansing, she's a graduate of Harvard, a Native American graduate of Harvard that teaches early childhood education. Our environmental science programs are always excelling. They have a lot of programs that partner with the federal government, and they host a lot of internships during the summer. A lot of those internships are paid internships, which are really good for our students to be able to keep doing something and also get credit and get paid at the same time. And after that, we have the Geospatial Information Technology program, which is the GIT program. So if a lot of the tribes need this specific area of expertise, because we have all these tribal maps, and we also have a lot of these maps have not been updated because there's no professional expertise within the tribe that can do that. So they need to find out like where aquifers are, what the latitude and longitude of anything on the reservation is. Also getting some aerial views. So that is always going to be, or that's going to be a high demanded job as of now moving forward, the GIT program. A lot of our students coupled the GIT program with the CAD program because the two programs complement one another. We also have the liberal arts program. A lot of our students that want to transfer, they basically just want to get their basics done at SIPI to save some money, so they get all their electives done, their math, their sciences, and their language arts. They do that, and then they transfer over to UNM. A lot of the programs that you see already have aligned their curriculum with the University of New Mexico, with IAIA, with Las Cruces, the other state institution in that area. So we are reaching out to get our students to continue that. Of course, Haskell, we also have a lot of our students that continue at Haskell, but a lot of these programs are already intentively lining up those programs. Again, just natural resources management program, the network management program, I love personally because I'm in IT, and then you also get to intern in my department, and we're Cisco certified. We are the only Cisco certified Native American college in the nation. So that's a really good thing for any Native American student that would like to get into network management. We also have our pre-engineering program. This one has been a big draw for the school. A lot of our a lot of our students have won national awards for their pre-engineering program. We've had a robotics team that won third place in the nation. This past year, they placed nationally in the last 30 years. So our robotics team is doing some heavy lifting for Indian country in that regard. And we also have our vision care technology program. We are the only state in New Mexico that has a vision care technology program. Maybe even in the Southwest, not that many people offer, or not that many colleges offer a vision care technology program. Especially if you want to work for the Indian Health Services in your reservation, this is a really good certification to have, and something that can put you above everyone else when they're looking at those resumes down the road for yourself. All right, so that's underneath the academics portion, and again, that's programs. And there's so much information here, so I want you guys to dive in when you can. So underneath the student resources, I'll just highlight, we have our Eagle Mail. This is your student Eagle Mail account, which is basically just your student email. And it's a beautiful landing page. We have Out Office 365, that's free for all our students. So we have a lot to offer as far as the technology goes. We also have a lot of online tutoring. Of course, right now, because of COVID, we are all telework. Not everyone, but all our students are not on campus, and everyone's doing online curriculum currently. Because of that, we are supporting our students and handing them out laptops to support them. We're handing them out hotspots to also support their academic endeavors. We have a COVID-19 team that's dedicated to the safety and welfare of our campus. And all our distance education, our distance learning happens through an application called Brightspace. So you have all of the classes that you can possibly think of that's on our college catalog, accessible to you anywhere in the United States online via Brightspace. Because we are doing everything online, a part of the accreditation process is we have to supply all the resources that we would normally, as you are going to be a on-premise student. We have to host all those same resources as we are in COVID right now. So that's why we have tutoring online. We have faculty hours, and we have counseling online. So everything you can think of, we were trying to think out of the box and support all our students and give them all those resources online. Underneath it, administration.
Donovan.
Yes, Ferdinand.
I was just wondering, is the online, was that available prior to COVID?
Yes, we do. We didn't have as many classes online, but we did have some classes online. But now that we are being faced with the challenges of COVID, now we're moving toward our online accreditation. And I think a lot of colleges are also moving that route because, all the uncertainties that happen during quarantine, we don't know what the future of everyone looks like. So to be on the safe side, it's going to be our normal to offer more classes online moving on into the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really impressive, Donovan. I know that, that's one of the reasons, like Alyssa, there's so much there. We asked the question, why SIPI? Well, Donovan just said it all. But tell us from your perspective, what is your take on everything you said? Is it
Yeah, yeah,
just as awesome?
it's all very, very true. They SIPI, I love their staff, it's like a second family, and they really just take care of you and make sure that you have the right equipment, for online learning, and the tuition right now, or, to attend SIPI right now, it's all free right now, and they're all there to support and help. Just I think it was like last trimester, I didn't have like a laptop. I couldn't afford, getting a laptop and or having a stable internet connection. And SIPI outreached to me and they said, we're going to provide you with a laptop along with a hotspot and a refillable card. And also, I was a dorm student before prior to COVID happening, and so to help me get back home, they supplied or they gave me a bag. It was full of goodies, for my trip back home to Nevada. 1,000 miles away. They paid for my whole trip just to go back home. And so, that really means a lot to me and my family as well, because it was a really stressful time, for all of us. But, SIPI has always been there for me, provided what I needed. And they continue to do that, And like I said, they're my second family. And I just truly, truly appreciate everything they've done for me. And yeah, I can speak a lot, to why SIPI, it's so amazing.
No, yeah, definitely.
Wow. Well, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, you're
Avery.
good. You're good. No, yeah, it definitely sounds amazing. Like Donovan, how you explained the whole tuition, the campus. Even I had the privilege to actually take students to SIPI last year, I believe, and that was one of the campuses that they actually liked. They were because it was nice and homey. I mean, it was smaller than most campuses, but yeah, it was a pretty cool campus. We saw some cool like features that honestly I haven't even seen at university. So yeah, that was really cool about SIPI. But Alyssa, so we know that you're one of the few Nevada natives that's at SIPIs, but otherwise, what is the native representation like at SIPI?
So when you first enter Albuquerque, it's like entering just a device or diverse, cultural world that, you can really connect with. Even though, I'm, Shoshone, Hopi, and Paiute, I could really connect with the natives that attend SIPI just because, I feel like just in general, you meet a native and you have to have, some kind of like, um, you know, things in common with them. And, us natives can just really connect in that way, and so they really made me feel at home. It was easy, like transition, just because like I've always lived on the reservation and, going to SIPI, it's like its own little reservation. Like you just get a little bit of, like culture, different languages. And I just love that so much. And they really made me feel welcome. And I've made a lot of, yeah, friends and, people that I can call family. It's my second home and I truly love it there. I love, the food, the or the red chili, green chili,
Yeah.
and I just love it so much. There's so much to say about so many good things just about SIPI and the people that are there, and I've just made a lot of like connections to the culture there as well. Just learning different aspects of the way the living. Just the lifestyles of different people, and I really appreciate that about SIPI. It's just so welcoming to me, and I just love it.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, it sounds amazing to you, and I liked how you talked about like this Albuquerque in general because I remember like so I'm in Rio right now, and yeah, we have natives here, but Albuquerque, I was like, man, this is a whole nother level. Like I went to, like the store, there's natives working everywhere. I was like, oh man, there's a native there, and then, yeah, it just felt so welcoming in Albuquerque.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've never seen so many natives in one place. And I'm like, whoa, this is pretty cool.
I like the green
Yeah.
chili.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
I know Donovan mentioned the application process at SIPI. What was your experience?
So, I actually applied for SIPI after I gained an interest in high school. So my high school teacher, Teresa Wright, she's one of my mentors. She's one of the people I truly look up to, and she really encouraged me to apply for SIPI. We took a college trip up to Albuquerque, and we were able to visit a few colleges there, and one of them being SIPI. And I was really, I really gained an interest, in SIPI just right off the bat, because it is in Albuquerque, and gathering of nations, and like Albuquerque has a lot to offer, especially for Indigenous people, and so filling out the application was really, really easy. You can just log on to the website, find the application, send it in. And I received a quick response. So it was easy to like plan out, okay, like when am I going to, leave to Albuquerque? Um, I got situated into the dorms really easily. And it was just like a really smooth process. Even just like locating buildings as well. Um, if I had a question, I would ask, the staff, and the staff, they're just always so helpful. I can't say that enough about them. They're just so helpful. They'll point you, in the right direction. And that's what I really love about, the community that's there at SIPI. You could just ask someone walking by, and ask, like for directions, or is this activity happening today? Or, where can I find this person? It's a really, really good community. So the application process was like really, really good. It was easy, it was clear. Um, so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm pretty highly impressed with your guys' website. That's really nice. Thank you, Donovan, for taking us through the whole entire process. Um, it sounds like you didn't really have you had resources available to you right offhand, and the application process didn't seem very difficult. Um, and moving away so far away from home, what was that like? I mean,
So like, Donovan said, just, living on the res your whole life, and but what really helped me to, move away from the reservation, because, like many, it's really intimidating to, the idea of like you have to get your education, and you have to go off the reservation, you have to leave home. And, some people may be looked at as, oh, you're an educated native, or oh, you just want to, get away, or how, just different views, that can be kind of hard sometimes. But, for me, it was just about how am I going to benefit my family? How can I help my tribal community that's provided so much for me? It's something that I've always had a passion for ever since I was little, which was really trying to come back to my tribal community, help them out. And, SIPI has really just amplified that passion that I have for educating youth, helping them to revitalize the culture, the language, the traditional values that we have, in our tribal communities.
right.
And I just got so much support from that, and so it was like all of these ideas that I had of, wanting to go to SIPI, um, the cost, it's gonna really help me in the future, and I'm going to a tribal, college, and it's um, it was just a really good transition for me, and my family felt at ease because of the community there, and just the traditional and cultural aspect of the school they really liked too. So it was a good transition.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really good to hear, especially for someone coming from Nevada. Like you said, it's 1,000 miles away, feel really far. And once you find that community, like at a campus like SIPI, I mean, it feels like home. Like you said, like that's your second home, and that's exactly what you want to find, especially when you go to different colleges that are maybe on the other side of the country or are just not in your hometown in general. So yeah, thank you for that. But that could be one challenge that students face, especially when they're in school, just moving away. But what was your biggest challenge that you had while in school?
I would have to say just not seeing my family was just the biggest challenge, you know. I'm so, you know, like actively involved, you know, even in my tribal community as well. And it was hard to like leave just my reservation in general. But, you know, through time, like it just through time, you know, it'll heal, you know, it'll get better. Because like I just had to keep my ultimate goal, you know, in mind, which was coming back to help my tribal community. And so that was just the main, you know, strive, the push, you know, to get my education. And I'm really thankful for, you know, the support from my family, you know, and the understanding, you know, of this is what I want to do. And it really helped me out, you know. And even, you know, like my local elders, you know, in the community, they would, you know, really help me out in that way too. And there was just a lot, I just gained a lot of support through the years of my ultimate, you know, goal, my educational goal. It really helped me out.
That's good. I got asked Dwayne a question. I want to know, where's there to eat in Albuquerque? What's the place?
Okay, here we go. Let's see. So, I feel like Donovan could vouch for this too. So my all-time favorite places to go is this local place called Twisters. It's so good. It's affordable. It's like the best, juiciest burgers you'll ever find. And you know, even McDonald's, like they'll have green chili cheeseburgers, you know,
Oh,
and like I recently, well, not recently, but maybe a few years back, I um, was taught Christmas is both green and red chili. So that was like pretty cool. Like, whoa, like they got like green chili at, you know, McDonald's. Like, this is so cool, you know. So Twisters, you know, is really good. And I love Dion's. Dion's pizza is so good. It's so good. And I also love Laguna Burger. I love Laguna Burger. It's so good. All those
okay.
burger places are so good.
I'm writing these down. And I
Yeah.
also want to hit up Dwayne. I want to know what your favorite foods are. Yes, you, Dwayne.
Donovan.
Donovan.
Or Donovan.
Donovan. You know what? I was with Dwayne. I get Dwayne and Devin a lot, so you're okay doing
Well, you know, we know Dwayne together, so.
Yeah. So around SIPI campus, there's actually places that are very, very close. There's a place called, oh my gosh, Alyssa, what is that place called? The one that you guys can walk to right off the campus?
Well, Dwayne Reeder says green chili pepperoni pizza.
Yes. So there's Dion's. I can vouch for Dion's. There's a place called El Pinso, which is like fancy Mexican food, but very, very delicious. That's one of my favorite places. There's another Mexican restaurant down the road called El Bruno's that I like. Besides Dion's Pizza, there's also this pizza joint that's called the Village Pizza, which they have a really good green chili stew. And if you want comfort food, that's a place to go. And actually, that's actually walking distance from SIPI. It's about a mile down the road, 3/4 of a mile down the road. And there's a really nice theater that's also there that's brand new. Yeah, there's a lot of places to eat, that's for sure.
Well, we can have a whole entire discussion on food, but we're gonna
Yes.
make it back to college and career. But before we do, I wanted to know what have you found that was fun in the area, Alyssa?
So the culture is
Oh,
so
Alyssa's funniest memory. What is your funniest memory
I don't know
so
about
far?
that. Eh?
Yeah,
Um,
appropriate.
You said A.
That's the first time someone's done that. I love it.
well, to answer your question, you know, the culture is so rich there in Albuquerque. There's a lot of diversity, you know, that's promoted just throughout the whole, you know, city. And so I really enjoyed just going to powwows, you know, on the weekends. You know, I would finish up my homework and I would just head to a powwow. You know, let's go, let's pack up, you know, and I would take my laptop to the powwows and, you know, sit there and type. And so, you know, just going to powwows is something I really enjoy doing in Albuquerque just because there's a lot more powwows there in Albuquerque than in more so like in Nevada. So I really like the people too, you know, even at the powwows, they made me feel at home as well. And so powwows were always there, you know, prior to COVID, along with, I also visited the Pueblos Cultural Center, located in Albuquerque as well. And, you know, they would have like craft shows. Um, and I'm so passionate, you know, about, you know, revitalizing, you know, culture and language. And so it was a joy to like go there and, you know, get a taste of, you know, how they're doing it and, you know, learn more about the beautiful cultures, you know, of New Mexico. So I would enjoy my time there at the cultural Pueblo Center. And they would also have dances, you know, or they would have different activities going on. Like they would have different Pueblo dances there at the cultural center on an outside like plaza. So I would really enjoy my time there. It's just so beautiful, you know, and they really support the native community there. They would have local artists, you know, set up alongside of the, you know, plaza where, you know, you could watch the dances, you know, you could help support local native artists. And so I really enjoyed that too. And I haven't been to the Balloon Fiesta yet. It's something that's on my bucket list. I want to go. But I heard it's really, really good. You know, it's a beautiful sight to see. Um, but yeah, that's something I look forward to doing in the near future is the
Mhm.
Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah, all that stuff sounds really cool. I mean, you have to find that fun thing to do outside of school, especially when in school, just to like de-stress every once in a while. And also, it's just like it's a form of self-care. And I mean, we all need that every single day. And so, I mean, self-care is one piece of advice that we could give the students. But so for Donovan and Alyssa, what would be the biggest advice that you have for future Indigenous college students who are out there watching this today?
Donovan, did you want to go ahead?
Okay, yeah. I think one of the biggest battles that I had when I was growing into my young adult years is missing home a lot. And I always was wanting to be at home, wanting to be with my parents, wanting to be with my family. And I had a hard time getting over that. So at one point, I had to really dig deep within myself, grit, to find out how to push beyond that threshold. And I told myself, and this is what I started teaching myself, is that home is where you're going to make it. And I just told myself in every situation that I had is I don't always have to miss home. Home doesn't always have to be my mom's residence, but home could be my dorm. Home could be my college. Home could be the place that I work at. And that really helped out. So if a student is ever missing their family and they're afraid of that, I strongly suggest to you, to start training your mind to be mentally fit, mentally powerful, to be self-sustaining while you're away from home, and to start training your mind and telling yourself that that home is where you make it, and that you can be successful even though you're away from home. Plus, at the same time, always reminding yourself what you're doing it for. Like, what is the reason that you're going to school? Is it to to get a good high-paying job? Is it to support your family? Is it to make your elders proud? Whatever that premise could be, always sticking to the truth and having that in the back of your mind every single day, almost like your mantra every single day, telling yourself, this is why I'm doing it, and then convincing yourself and building your self-efficacy up, saying, I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm a Native American scholar, I can do this. I am perseverant, I'm resilient, and constantly telling yourself these things every single day. So that's what I want for all our Native American students, is to be able to experience that level of self-awareness, and to be able to understand it on a level to where you're able to teach it. So when you're of age and you're starting to have a family, that you're going to teach these values to your children, and then you're going to be a part of the system called breaking the cycle, which is what all higher education is doing now. Statistically, Native Americans don't finish college. Many Native Americans don't even finish high school. So with you going to college, going through higher education, you're breaking the cycle already, wanting something more for yourself instead of being reliant on your mother or father's income and wanting to be your own income. You're breaking the cycle right there. So there's a lot of things that you can build your mental strength, your mental power of, and being your own personal cheerleader. But at the same time, always surrounding yourself with good people that will build your self-esteem, like Alyssa. Alyssa is a perfect example of that.
That is so true, Dwayne. I mean, it's, Suicide Prevention Month, and, just saying it over and over, I am strong, I'm resilient, it's just, you build yourself up. I mean, because a lot of our students who come to tribal colleges and universities, or universities period, are Donavon. Did I call you another name again? I'm just going to make up names for you. Yeah, I think it's really important what you said. I mean, that's really good advice for young people to hear tonight. Alyssa, how about you?
Yeah, I agree totally with what Donavon, was saying. But for me, I would just say that your Indigenous identity is very important. And, it's okay if, you're still learning it, because, all of us are still learning. And what I would just say is, don't stop trying. You're never too old, you're never too young to learn your language, learn your culture, your traditional values, and something that I would just encourage people to do is continue to talk to your elders, and, further your education. Like, it makes us happy, hearing about people that are furthering their education to help their tribal communities, because it's just a cycle, and we got to keep the cycle going. And in doing so, just continue and don't give up. Surround yourself with good people. Like Donavon was saying, that's something that's like really important. Is just surround yourself with good people that will help support you in your growth and development, throughout life. And I actually received a text message from the American Indian College Fund.
Yes.
And something that I wanted to share with all of you. So they sent me a text, and I thought it was really, really inspirational. And so it says, Alyssa, ever thought about how many people you inspire simply by attending college? You are now a role model. Cheryl Crazy Bull, our president, estimates that for every Native college student, 35 people in the community are positively impacted. And so that speaks a lot of volume to me, especially in my tribal community. I'm very passionate about, helping the youth to see that there's many opportunities, to help out our people, through historical trauma, we can like reverse the effects, and to help the future generations, that's something that I'm very passionate about. It's just revitalizing our culture and identity, as people. And it's really good. It makes me so happy to hear about success stories. It just motivates me to, encourage other people as well. And those people are good to like surround yourself with,
Mhm.
And so that it just feels really good, even to be surrounded by, you guys as well. You guys really inspire me. And, I think with that, we can build a stronger, nation, as well.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you so much for that. That inspired me even right now, what you just said. And I'm sure it inspired
Yeah, that,
even like we have like our guests watching always talk about how inspiring our students are. So yeah, thank you, Alyssa. And so now we'll move on to our question section from the audience. So our first question from Sandra is, if someone is researching college pathways right now for next year, what are some things they should really consider when attending any college or career program?
Someone's researching. Okay. Oh, can you guys hear me? Am I on?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, great. Hi, Sandra. I think that you would have to. I mean, if you would like to, I think that they have a lot of tests online that are online assessments that will give you a career path that will be hot for the next 5 years, the next 10 years. If you can't find one of those online assessments, that will probably answer your question better than I can. But just from my perspective, from the needs of our Native American people, I know that we need a lot of people in STEM. So if you pick any career in science, technology, engineering, or math, there's going to be a guaranteed job for you once you finish college. We need a lot of medical professionals. We need a lot of lawyers, doctors. There's always a need for that. But one of the trends that's actually unique is the entire nation needs a lot of trades right now. I think a lot of colleges have pushed STEM so much that we're having a lack of plumbers, a lack of electricians, a lack of like oilers. So if you have maybe a nephew or a brother, that's not like doesn't know what he wants to go into, have them consider a trade as well. Of course, for the military, we're the highest represented race in all military branches when it comes down to like per capita. So there's always ways that you can also serve in the military. I served in the military, and the benefits was I was able to get my home loan through there, and I was able to get my college education partially paid for when I got out. So there's a lot of good ways, and I would just kind of work the system and find out what resource is best fit for you or for your student, and then help give them those other resources as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Donavon. For Dina, you almost made me say Dwayne. Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I mean, that's a good point that you brought up about the trade schools, and that's why we're here too. Actually, we're going to be highlighting some trade schools in the future. But so we have one other question. This one's from Dakavi, I believe. And so this one's for Alyssa. So why choose SIPI over another Indian college like Northwest Indian College or Haskell?
That is actually my brother. I think he's just trying to mess
Oh,
with
really?
me today. Just kidding.
Okay.
But
Little rivalry.
he's been really encouraging me to attend Indian College or Northwest.
Go ahead, Alyssa.
So I know he's just messing with me. Just kidding. But SIPI has a lot to offer, such as, tuition, just even the cultural community as well, and just the area, you know, there's a lot to do. You won't be in debt, you know, and you're gonna like create family, you know, while you're there, just like I did, you know.
Hmm.
But maybe in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah, no, family's really important.
Definitely.
Never like we talked about. Yeah. So we have another question. This one is from Dwayne. Real Dwayne. For Alyssa. So Alyssa, what program are you in, and what is the best part about that program?
So I'm in the early childhood program, and so I really, really love the teachers, Lisa Towery and Danielle Lensing. They have really motivated and pushed me to be the best that I can be, that I can really impact my tribal community, that we can, you know, like just really make a change in the lives of young children, our future leaders. And so that's just the best part, is just knowing that I can make a change. And once I make a change, it's just a ripple effect. You know, it just goes on to other tribal communities, other children who are interested in learning their cultural, you know, values and language. You know, even elders, you know, wanting to participate, maybe just bringing the community together. You know, I think that's just so amazing in itself. You know, um, I feel like as Native people, we can just really connect and to help each other in that way. So that's just the best part of the program, is just knowing that you're gonna make a difference, or even just attending college in different or in general. You're gonna make a ripple effect. You're really gonna inspire people.
Hmm. And yeah, well, thank you, Donovan and Alyssa, for being here with us tonight.
Thank
You've
you.
inspired us, like you said, that ripple effect went on
Yeah.
to me, Dina, and so it probably went on to a lot of our viewers too. So thank you for being here with us tonight.
I would like to just share one closing story about Alyssa. I think that everyone needs to hear about her good deeds here in Albuquerque. So I don't know how she found out, but she got wind that my daughter was starting to learn how to powwow dance for the first time. And she knows my kids because my kids are on campus. So she went to the powwow that my daughter was at, and my daughter didn't have a really good outfit together, no regalia. She was just starting out. And Alyssa beaded her this beautiful medallion for her neck, for her outfit, and then gave her a little mini crown. And you know, Nevada students, you know, that's one of your very own Nevada Native Americans that are caring for other Native Americans here in the nation. So you guys are producing very great students. We can't wait to meet other Native Americans from Nevada. The other students we have on our campus, they're doing great things. So you guys are representing very, very well. We look forward to having more campus make dreams come true. That's what I want to say to you.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Donovan.
Yeah. Thank you, Donovan.
Cool, and thank you, Dina, for another amazing show that we had. We had a lot of laughs on this show. Yeah, about all the name stuff, but that's cool. I mean, like Alyssa even said when she just cracked that joke, that just like made me feel better for the day. Like I just needed that native humor for today. So yeah, thank you, Alyssa, if you're still out there listening. But yeah, so next week we're gonna be featuring Tanner Kavanaugh. Tanner is actually just graduated from PA school, so he's working on being a physician's assistant. So anyone interested in the medical field, feel free to watch next week. Tune in Thursday at 6 p.m. And yeah, thank you for everyone joining on today. And if you want to see our past videos, go to our YouTube page, check out our Facebook page, and don't forget to share our posts. Thank you.
And don't forget, SIPI is very cheap. $5.90, $365, $290. Awesome. Awesome school. Thank you. And we'll see you next week.
Cool. Have a good weekend, everybody.